Do you support Hong or Tiffany?
I support Francesca Hong.
Do you think that we should open the border?
Absolutely.
In the restaurant industry, when we're out of something, we say it's 86th. And I'd say it's about fucking time we 86 Trump.
I've come to Wisconsin for the most important governor's race in our country's history. And why? Francesca Hong is a socialist, and as of right now, she has a 97% chance of winning the Democrat nomination on August 11th. Hong wants to abolish prisons, abolish ICE, and build government-run grocery stores. And this is her campaigning with Hassan Piker, who said America deserved 9/11. Sound familiar? She would become the most powerful member of the Democrat Socialists of America, a group that wants to abolish the Senate, the presidency.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them. Yep.
And extend voting rights to non-citizens. So let's see if people are voting for what could be our first socialist governor or the Republican Tom Tiffany. I've asked over 1,000 people who they're voting for on this channel, and I assure you the responses in this video make it the craziest voting episode ever. Welcome to Wisconsin, and welcome back to the Nate Friedman Show.
I've been fucking with Hong, to be honest.
Got you. And why Hong?
You know, I feel like she's just been part of, a shift in the Democratic Party that I've been fucking with. Like Mamdani winning and Abdul Al-Sayed winning in the primary in Michigan right now is just like great examples of these establishment Democrats not getting what they want anymore.
Absolutely. I think people get scared of socialism and they don't know what it really is. So I think it's important to discuss actual examples. So Hong, she wants to have government-run grocery stores similar to Mamdani. Mm-hmm. Does that excite you? Are you pumped for that, or what are your thoughts on it?
I actually have no idea what that means.
After explaining to him what government-run grocery stores were, this was his response. What worries Republicans, from what I've heard from the other side, is that they feel that the government, that the taxpayer will have to bail them out because the government-run grocery store won't be able to make money with the products being so cheap. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
I think my first concern is just like the, and you know, I didn't study government or anything. I was a fucking comm major. But yeah. So, you know.
Sure.
Everyone listen up, an idiot is speaking, but I think my first thought is like the government is corrupt. Yeah. So like I think like on paper a government-run grocery store sounds great because like I personally don't think things like toothpaste and food should be like, you know, it's kind of like medicine. There's definitely an argument to be made that it's fucked up to be making profit off of something that people need to survive.
Do you support Hong or Tiffany?
I support Francesca Hong.
And why so?
She wants to get ICE out, and like all her, well, there's so many different policies. Yeah. And like, I consider myself to be a leftist, and I think there needs to be a huge change in how we view our politics in Wisconsin and the entire state. I think she will bring us in the right direction.
Absolutely. And I feel like we're seeing a wave of socialism across the country. I'm from New York, and we voted Mamdani in, so we really want to hear from, well, we would say the new face of the Democrat Party. Yeah. So what would be your message to the Democrats who are worried about their party going towards socialism?
Don't be worried that we're going to head towards communism, because it's the United States. That's never going to happen realistically. Yeah. And like we're headed towards fascism right now. So what's worse, like socialism or fascism? Right.
And we always ask for both sides. So Republicans, they get worried when they hear ICE out. They don't know what it should be replaced with. What do you think it should be replaced with after ICE is out?
Nothing. Honestly. Like I think no human is illegal. Like we should just have better policies and make it available for anyone to come into the country who needs to. Yeah.
So do you think that we should open the border?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know, like, so in New York, I heard from a guy who said that he was worried about opening the border because he said that criminals from other countries could come in. What would be your response to him?
I mean, they already do. And they don't use the border. Like they'll just find a way around. But like, I feel like they are just as worried about our criminals heading into their countries at this point. So
Yeah.
Like,
and what gets you excited about Francesca Hong? So I was reading up a little bit about her, of course, before we did this, and she wants to do government-run grocery stores, but she also has an interesting policy where she wants to have a state-owned bank and also community-run hospitals. So if a hospital wants to sell, a community could run it. Is there some policy that you're most passionate about?
I mean, the hospital is like one of my like greatest things because that's a start to universal health care. Like it easily, like there are so many people that need health care that aren't able to afford it, and like that would just open up, it would help so many people. Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share about your generation and how you're feeling in this country? Anything that you're dissatisfied with, or satisfied with even?
I'm sorry, I'm really fucking high right now.
No,
I can't
all
think
good.
of
Absolutely.
like that.
Welcome to Packerland.
We're asking people who they support. Could we ask you?
All I know is who I don't support.
Okay, tell us.
Viet Cong. Fucking communist piece of shit.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't support the Democrat Socialists of America. Fuck them. If you think communism is so good, move to Havana, move to Pyongyang, or move to Caracas, Venezuela. I'll pay for your fucking airfare, but you gotta renounce your American citizenship. You can't come back. I'll pay for that too. Okay. Get out of the country. These young people are fucking so full of shit. And so is your mayor in Chicago, Brendan Johnson. That piece of shit. These goddamn pieces of shit politicians. That's what I think.
So, sir, we just spoke to some young people.
They're full of shit, these kids today. They don't even know what communism is.
They said that you don't have to be worried about socialism.
Oh, no, okay, yeah. Look at the mayor of New York, Zoran Mamdani. That guy. I mean, this country's going to shit, dude.
Yeah.
I got my good years in. I'm 67 years old, and I got my good years in. So...
Well, I mean, you look 50. I didn't think
I
67. Wow. So you work out all the time,
Of course.
Right?
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And you'll look like me if the world doesn't destroy itself.
A lot of these young people, they haven't seen socialism, right?
They don't know what it is.
And I spoke to a young person who said, let's open the borders. What is your response to opening the borders?
Ridiculous. I'm all for legal immigration. Controlled legal immigration. We're opposed to, I'm a freedom and liberty guy. We're opposed to illegal immigration. Follow our laws and procedures. They're not that hard to follow.
They say no human is illegal.
Fine, but we have laws. That's what a country, borders, language, culture. You don't want to respect that? Go somewhere else. Go to Canada. How about that? Follow our laws and our procedures. They're not that hard to follow.
You've got real guts to really,
I tell it like it is. Want to hear the truth? That's the truth. Well, a lot of people are afraid to say it.
Okay, so who do you support? Do you support Hong or the Republican for governor?
Hong, no, absolutely.
Hong?
Yeah.
And why Hong?
I don't support anybody that's going to back Trump, that has Trump philosophies at all, period.
Yeah.
You could be the devil. As long as you're not supporting Trump, I'll support you.
Yeah.
I just that much anti-Trump, that's all. But no, I mean, she's got some really good things. She's got some good ideas. I saw this today. She was talking about maybe taking back money from private schools and putting them back into public schools.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to throw a lot of smoke her way. I don't know if I would start off with that, but either way, she's off to change things. Yeah.
I know that like a lot of people, like the country's quite divided on socialism. They're worried about the country turning to socialism. Are you worried about it, or not so much?
That's crazy because we're all in socialism right now. We have a fire department that works, that we pay taxes for, that comes and put out your fire, the police, sanitation, roads, everything. It's all part of socialists. Okay, we're a socialist society. Yeah.
What is your message to the folks the Democrats who don't want to vote for a socialist, but they're afraid to vote Republican, right? How do you get them on your side?
Where would you rather send your tax dollars to? Would you rather send your tax dollars to the rich, the wealthy, or would you rather take your tax dollars and put them back into services that you and your family can use every day? That's your choice.
Absolutely. Have you heard about the government-run grocery stores that she wants to do?
No, but I know the mayor in New York has done that.
Yeah, where I'm from. What do you think about those?
I think that there's a lot of neighborhoods that need that. I mean, if you go into some urban areas here, it's a food desert out there. There's no grocery stores. I mean, there's just little convenience stores that serve garbage food. So yeah, that's absolutely needed here.
Yeah. I know that Republicans are always saying, well, they're going to lose money. They're going to lose the taxpayers' money. Like these guys, they're always freaking out about that because the government-run grocery stores, what they say is that we're going to lower the prices. And if they lower the prices, the Republicans say they won't be able to make money and the taxpayers will have to bail them out, you know?
So I would rather waste my tax dollars on feeding someone than waste my tax dollars on bombing some country, people that I don't know and I don't have a beef with. Where do you want your money to go to? In bombs or food?
Right.
It's an easy choice.
Who are you for?
My guy was just here. My guy Hassan Piker was just here.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
I don't know if I mean, I can't go Republican at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess I would have to lean more towards Hong.
Yeah. And why can you not go Republican?
I just can't. I got to see a regime change right now. You know, so got to see something new.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I got to see something new.
Yeah.
You know,
we're hearing that more across the country. Let's say if it had to be a Republican, like what would you want them to do? You know?
Stop taking money from AIPAC. That's what I do.
Yeah. No. We. I mean, if you're joking, sure, but we want to hear people's actual thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, just like honestly, I don't know what I would want to see from like any politician. I would just want to see more honesty and more transparency. I think that's what all Americans are asking.
I know Hong said something. We're asking people about her statements when they say they're supporting. She said that the police stand to withhold white supremacy. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that is true?
I feel like a lot of people feel like they don't support white supremacy, but they don't do a good job of, getting rid of it and being adamant about it not existing.
Do you think it's still running rampant here?
White supremacy?
Yeah.
Always. That's what the country is built off of. So.
Yeah. She mentioned she's part of a network called the Democrat Socialists of America that wants to abolish the presidency and abolish the Senate. Are you up for that sort of change?
Sometimes I think people say outlandish things when they're trying to get elected. Do I think it's doable? Yeah. No. Do I like the idea and the premise of it? Yeah, I think it's like along the right path. Mm-hmm. Like, do I think that's going to be accomplished? Yeah. No, not at all. But there is some stuff like where maybe the president has too much power or we're leaning too much on politics when we can just do the right thing. So I get where the idea is coming from. But
sure. I know Syed, last thing is he said he wants to erase all medical debt in this country and do Medicare for all. Is that something you would like?
Yeah, but it's, I just like doable things. Okay. Do I think that's doable? Like, I've never seen that done before. Yeah. So I like, it's like when somebody's going for class president and they say they're going to put a vending machine in every hallway. They're just like, it sounds good during the presidency, but it's just like, everybody says everything during the election, but what happens when you're elected?
It's funny, you sound like a lot of Republicans that I interview, but you're against Republicans.
Yeah.
What makes you call it a regime? What makes you very against Republicans?
I think I'm kind of very against politics. I'm very against people meeting up on the Hill and they discuss the lives of us when they live different lives. Yeah. They discuss it, they go back and forth, they argue, and then they go have lunch together. Okay. And their kids play together, and it's kind of like a game to them. And they're the ones that's making decisions for us. Yeah. And obviously we got to do a better job of making sure we get the right people in office. But you don't see a Democrat pushing racism. I'd say that, and that's like the bar where you start at. And some Republicans, they don't debunk race. They don't shame racists. They don't come out and just be like, we shouldn't do that. They're just quiet about it. So that's my problem with some Republicans. So I'm not a Democrat per se. But
I know Republicans call DEI racism. They say it is anti-white. What is your response to that?
Shit. If it's anti-white, then I guess it kind of evens out because it's kind of been anti-minority for a while now. So if they want to call it anti-white, then it probably is. So what?
At first, when I asked him what he didn't like about Republicans, I thought he didn't answer the question when he responded with, "I'm very against politics." After giving it more thought, I realized he did answer the question. In 2016, Trump was the anti-establishment candidate, and now the anti-establishment candidates are more on the socialist left, people like Mamdani, El-Sayed, and now Hong. These candidates are succeeding for the same reasons Trump did, just with opposite beliefs.
We have a lot of internal reckoning to do, but that it's important to see it through the lens of toxic white supremacy culture that is ingrained in this country's history. I did marry my proximity to whiteness continues, right? I'm my son is biracial. He's half white and half Korean, and I think navigating, what his identity is and how people perceive him is always at the back of my mind.
Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities.
My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Yep. I don't want to cancel it. I actually love it.
Now I'm off to a suburb 30 minutes north of Milwaukee called Cedarburg. I've come here because I was only able to find one conservative in Milwaukee, and I always want to hear both sides, so here we are.
Okay, I just had to say something. So we're in Cedarburg. It's just so calming and nice. I mean, I spend 99% of my time in cities, and I get why people live in places like this. It's just quiet, it's calm, there's American flags everywhere. So we'll see what people think out here. Let's do this. Not Hong.
Way too liberal.
And so we've heard from a lot of people in Milwaukee that they support Hong. What makes you not support her?
Just as positions that are too extreme. The country's not ready for them. Trying to go from what we do today to where she wants to take us. She'd never get that done in her lifetime, let alone a gubernatorial term.
Right.
So it's not going to work, and it's the wrong direction.
Yeah. I don't know if you have children, but a lot of these people, they're young, and they think like socialism is going to fix a lot of issues. Like, do you think that they're naive, or what is your perspective on young people becoming socialists?
I completely get the cry for change, and even radical change, because incremental change doesn't seem to be changing things very much.
Yeah.
But, like I say, the extreme left positions of eliminating the Senate and the House of Representatives and prisons and daycare for all and Medicare for all, and a free for all, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I know it appeals to people, but it's naive. You use the right word.
What do you think is the solution to this, to bring the country together?
If I knew the answer to that, I'd be running for governor, if not congressman, if not senate, if not president. Yeah,
absolutely. So who do you support for the governor's race here in Wisconsin?
Tom Tiffany.
And why Tom Tiffany?
He seems to be the only real solid candidate.
Yeah. And what makes you say that? What makes him solid?
Well, number one, he's not Governor Evers. We've suffered through 8 years of Governor Evers and all his shenanigans and all his Frankenstein veto crap. And I'm done with that. So,
for people that don't know Governor Evers, what is like some of the crazier policies that you're talking about?
Well, in Wisconsin, we have this weird veto thing, and where the governor can change numbers and change letters and all this stuff. And he gave 400-year tax hike in order to fund public education. 400 years, and now next governor's got to undo that and tear that apart. But he took care of all his constituencies. He took care of all the liberal, talking points and all the liberal items that he can. And he's just not been a very honest governor.
Yeah. We spoke to some, you got a motorcycle here, but we spoke to some young people in Milwaukee just now, and a lot of them are open to, or in fact support, abolishing the Senate, abolishing prisons, opening the border. What would you say to those young people?
Start thinking a little bit.
Okay.
I've got kids I got to have those conversations with.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I was a liberal back when I was their age. I mean, I worked on the Dukakis campaign. I voted for Mondale, did a campaign for Dukakis in '88, campaign for Clinton, and had a big change. And, and the world changes, but also the Democratic Party is not the same it used to be.
And what made you change from being a liberal to a conservative?
Having a family.
Okay.
Opened your eyes. You got to look more in the future rather than the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, when you say open your eyes, it's my friend Charlie. We'd always talk about how having a family, like, it does make you conservative. And what makes you conservative after having a family?
Because you start thinking of the consequences. You're not thinking about yourself anymore. You're thinking about others. You're thinking about your future. You're thinking about your country. You want your kids, your grandkids to live in the same country we grew up in. I know nothing's going to be the same, but you still got to have those freedoms. And those freedoms, our eyes got opened during COVID. Those freedoms can get swept away real quick.
Yeah.
And so you got to be on guard against it all.
Did you say that you have a child in college right now?
Yes. My
okay.
youngest.
What are your thoughts?
She's going to love this. Go Badgers. I don't know how to do the Badger thing with one hand. We all live. Do you remember the Truman Show? You guys, anyone remember Truman Show?
I didn't watch it, but now I did watch clips of it. Yeah.
Watch the Truman Show. Watch the whole thing. Basically, his whole life is controlled. And now we're in 360 million, whatever our population is, 360 million Truman Shows going on. Because we all have our little phones. Yeah. We all have our little worlds. And we see what happens when people get caught up in it. Like the guy who killed Charlie Kirk and the guy that killed the insurance guy in New York City. I mean, they got caught up in their little world and they think that's their reality.
So who do you support for the upcoming governor's race?
Well, at this time, I'm not so sure still.
Okay.
And unfortunately, in Wisconsin, we've had quite a few people dropping out of the Democratic side of things. And I did my voting prior. So who I voted for.
Oh, he dropped out, or he or she dropped out?
Both of the people are no longer there. So that's a problem with that system. So I had done that in COVID time, and I will be getting out of that now.
Yeah.
However, when we get to where we are now, I like two candidates at this time, but I'm kind of uncertain yet.
Which of the two candidates, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, I think Hong is someone who I'm kind of leaning towards.
Yeah.
But I think Kelda Roy is kind of more in my wheelhouse right now.
Okay, so for Roy, I know Hong's got most of the national attention right now.
Yes.
So could you explain who the other person is, Roy?
Yeah, Kelda Roy, she has probably the most experience in politics and in helping our state. Okay. And she really shined in the debate, I felt.
Okay.
And so I'm very interested in her. Yeah. However, I think a lot of people like the other candidate, so kind of worried.
So if for sure, if it was between Hong and Tiffany, which one would you lean toward?
Hong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why so?
My values and things that I want in my life and for my family and friends, I think are more in that category.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I don't appreciate the larger things that are happening in our country, and I certainly don't appreciate our president at all.
Yeah.
And so I'll do anything to get away from that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because this is actually a perspective we were hearing in the city as well, that people feel that voting for Hong is sort of almost like a resistance toward Trump. So would you agree with that it's part of like a larger thing like that?
Yeah, well, I don't even know how the man is in his second term, and he's just frightening to me and to many others, even people more moderate. And so I'm definitely a Democrat, and so I will do whatever I can to have those values reach our citizens.
Does some of Hong's positions concern you, like when she says, like, abolishing prisons and stuff like that?
Yeah. I think she's new and probably learning, but she's definitely said a lot of things that don't feel right, and so that's
you don't want to cancel Thanksgiving?
Nope, not going to do that either. And I think she'd maybe take that back, but I can't speak for her.
Yeah, she recently said most recently it's her favorite holiday now.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago,
all
she wanted
politics
to
is a
cancel
little
it.
bit of BS, and it's really tough being a citizen these days.
Yeah, but so for being a Republican, like you wouldn't consider being a Republican until Trump is out, or ever? Would you ever consider?
I'd never consider that. I would never consider that.
So who do you support for the governor's race?
Well, actually, I had been all for Brennan.
Okay.
Because he was the first one who I kind of did some research on and talked with him and attended a fundraiser. And then, but now
he's polling so low, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. So I am thinking, because the governor endorsed Crowley, that feels to me as a Democrat like the best option.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not sure I would choose him.
Yeah.
But I just want a Democrat. I want somebody who I believe could win in the
Right.
general.
I think that we just heard a perspective that was basically like Hong is likely to win, and if it's between Hong and a Republican, she would lean toward Hong, but she's not really passionate about her. Are you kind of in a similar camp, or?
Correct.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not. I would not vote for Hong.
You would not vote for Hong.
No.
Okay.
And that is one of the most
Yeah.
the most difficult moral dilemmas for me
Yeah.
ever, because raising 2 adult boys at
Sure.
21 and 27, I have said 50,000 times, you have to vote. You can't just not vote. And it's the very first time ever that if she were the one, I probably would vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hear a lot of people saying that, or even people who have only voted Democrat. If she wins, they might vote for the
Republican.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever consider voting for the Republican candidate, or no?
I don't think I could.
Not this Republican candidate,
Okay.
no.
And what's wrong with him? Because we actually haven't heard the perspective yet of like who Tiffany is. Like what are some of the issues with him?
I don't think I am pro-choice, and that's very important to me. Public education is very important, so is Hong. That's what she's saying. I don't think he is going to help at all with the housing issue, with the economy. There's so much that's happening with legislation that I think if we have a Republican, so maybe not specific, if we have a Republican in as the governor, that things are not gonna, they're gonna get stuck.
Yeah. What's your guys' reaction to? Because have you guys been Democrats for a while or voted Democrat for? Okay. What is your perspective on Mamdani and Sayad and these socialist candidates?
Well, you're talking to two Jewish women.
Yeah.
So it's a really big issue for me.
Yeah.
It's a really
my
big
daughter
issue.
lives in Manhattan, and she thinks he's doing some great stuff for the city, for New York City. And it's hard to endorse a candidate who has had anti-Semitism in their past, like who has and who is not pro-Israel or not forget Israel, but also just like Jews in this country.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it. And
Yeah. I'm sure it's gonna be a tough decision. I completely get where you guys are coming from. So
I will say, going back to my children, so my son lives in Denver, and a woman running as a Democrat, you probably know this, running as a Democrat, but who definitely espouses that her political ideology is socialist, just won in the primaries in Denver. And he said to me, for the first time ever, I think I'm going to have to vote for a Republican, and not just vote for a Republican, but I might actually give money to that campaign. If it had been a year or two ago, we would have had to have a family meeting about it. And I said, I think you need to do what you need to do this time. And I completely understand that. And she has been vocally anti-Semitic and pro-Palestinian in her rhetoric for a very long time. So the Dems are swinging way too far left for me. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
really.
I agree.
Like, I actually
agree.
really feel that way. My father was a rabbi in Wisconsin for a very long time, very socially active, very active in the Democratic Party, always supported the Dems. It's like ingrained in who I am as a person, and I feel very alienated from the party right now.
What would Republicans, because I'm sure they want your vote, right?
Oh,
so of course
no
they
doubt.
do. So what would you want them to say to kind of convince you? Like what would invite you to vote Republican?
The Republican platform for me, I think just as Karen said, I mean, I am vehemently pro-choice. I believe in a lot of social justice projects and funding. I'm in education, so the privatization of education has been a major issue for me for decades. So fundamentally, there are issues that I can't jump on board. I also do correlate directly the rise of anti-Semitism in the United States to Trump's first administration. I think we can look at that statistically. So, I love that Republicans are jumping on the Israel bandwagon right now, but when you look at the tide of anti-Semitism, it really started with the first Trump administration. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, it's always been there, but I think it became more commonplace to just talk it like that.
Yeah.
So what would the Republicans have to do? Be a different party.
Be moderate, maybe? If there was somebody...
A very moderate.
Yeah, very
moderate Republican. Yeah.
Is there a Republican candidate in the country that you can think of that you would vote for any office? I don't know that many off the top of my head.
No, I was just gonna say you'd
like someone like a Rubio, for example.
That's so funny. My son just said he really likes Rubio, the 21-year-old.
Not Rubio now.
No.
Maybe if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I might have said maybe.
Before he was involved with Trump.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. If it were to be Hong in the general election, would you consider voting for her over the Republican?
No.
Okay. So would you vote for the Republican or would you abstain from voting?
I would vote, if it was between the two, I would vote the Republican.
Okay. And have you normally voted Democrat in the past?
No.
Oh, so do you switch around?
I switch around, actually.
That's beautiful.
I do not do it by party.
Yeah.
Yes, I lean conservative, but I do vote Democrat.
What do you think of this sort of, I guess, tidal wave of socialism that is coming across the country right now? I'm from New York. We just brought in Mamdani, and then Syed won his primary. What do you make of all this?
I think it's very scary. I think people need to be very, very careful. Everything free sounds very good. It's not free. So my concern is that people are going for the free stuff and they're promising, and it's not going to happen. It just can't. My sons are in their 40s.
Okay.
They're both socialists. My husband is on the close to being that. Again, I really think they have to say, how are you going to pay for all this? That's the big one. I also have a problem. We're going to tax the billionaires. If you look at Sacramento, the billionaires said, you know what, you're not going to tax me. I'm going to move my money to my own foundation. I am going to move my money to other people. So believing that billionaires can do whatever they want with their money, they have loopholes and everything to go about, so you can't depend on them. It's just that nothing is free.
I was telling Josh as he dropped me off at the airport, and Josh is the guy, by the way, that gave us the tip that Chicago Public Schools was busing kids to an anti-Trump protest. Anyway, what I was telling him was that you would almost imagine that many of these interviews that took place in Milwaukee were from a political rally or a protest, but they were just ordinary people off the street. Ideas like DEI is not racist, it's just anti-white, and abolishing the Senate and opening the borders are all ideas that walk among us. So this is the new Democrat Party. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Nate Friedman Show. If you want to see what people in New York think about socialism and even hear from a DSA member pitching socialism directly to you, then click on this video and I'll see you there.